Welcome to Forex.Today, everybody. Let me remind you that trading Forex, really trading anything, is not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Dang! Look, it's me. Fortunately, all my screens are gone. Yeah, so it's in the shop. Windows just doesn't work. So anyways, hey, my name is Wayne McDonell. I'm the Chief FX Market Strategist for TradersWay.com. I'm here to earn your loyalty and respect, and I will do that with sharing my experience as a trader, helping you with technical and fundamental analysis, and also trader psychology, which we actually spent a fair amount of time on recently. I do these sessions here at Forex.Today, Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. New York time, approximately London lunch. Feel free to ask questions. Participation is encouraged. You are the boss. I am the humble currency analyst. So, let's get going. Oh, and I should ask the obvious, but it never hurts to ask. Would you please go to TradersWay.com and open an account, even a demo account, test us out, try out our execution speed, take a look at our spreads. You know, and it was funny too, because I was actually looking at our spreads just 2 days ago. I think it was on my phone. I'm looking at it, and like, I don't know, the pound dollar was like, the spread was, I don't know, 1.2 or something. You know, when I first started trading, the spread on the pound dollar, you know, 15 years ago was 7 pips. And like the pound yen was like 15 pips. I mean, I'm just looking at it and I'm like, really? Pound dollar, 1.3 pips? Like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. That's so small. Just absolutely phenomenal. How could you not make money as a scalper? Imagine scalping when you got to cover a 7 or 8 pip spread. It's a little more difficult, right? Gee whiz, how could you not? Anyways, just amazing how much things have changed over the years. Yeah, I'm that old. Yeah. All right, good looking people. I got to make this brief. I have a final examination at Harvard. By the way, let me tell you a story. I had to submit my final homework problem set 5 for one of my classes. Yeah. So I submitted online, and I click on problem set homework number 5 for my other class. Whoops. So I get a 0 on the homework. I'm like, what? And I look at it, I'm like, oh my God, it was the wrong homework, right? So I'm like, hey, sorry, just seconds later, I submitted the next one. I'm like, look, I grabbed the problem set 5. This is the problem set 5. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. You know, will you please accept it? What was their response? Maybe grade it with, but knock me down a letter grade. Yeah, too bad, so sad, piss off. What? It's the responsibility of the student. I'm like, oh my God. I clicked on the wrong problem set 5. Yeah, they're just like, yeah, you're lucky we didn't fail you. Oh. But then I told you I had to prove a war mathematically, and I got 100% on that, so I don't know. So anyways, let's move on.com. I have an exam today, so that's got my mind. But, you know, I thought Harvard was going to be easy. Gee whiz, huh? Clicked the wrong one. Oh well, 0. All right, so let's start with our buddy gold. Gold has been falling for 4 weeks now, which we actually predicted. we thought it was going to come down to about 12.22, and then when we got new pivots in May, we said 12.17, and then it should stop, and we came down and we hit the line, and then we double bottomed, and it's been now 3 days, and it's held at 12.17. Oh, you're not seeing charts? What do you see? I'm sorry, I didn't click the tab. Oh, you still see me, huh? Oh, I apologize for that. There we go. It's just I got to get this webinar thing out of the way. Is that better? Hang on. Windows thinks if I move a window to the right, it wants me to put it in the middle. Think of the programmer that said, if a user grabs a window and moves it all the way to the right, we should re-expand it in the middle of the screen. Like, really? That's what you thought? That's some good programming right there. I'm really critical today, huh? Really critical. All right. So anyways, I even told some interesting people about 12.17, so I'm very happy that it's held. Get some good bro points. Hang on. The chair's too fancy. Hang on. How do you make it go forward? How do you make it work? I can go up, down, left, right. I can kick the seat out. I want it to move forward. Up, down. Stupid chair. For $1,000, it should read my mind. All right. I'm going to increase I can barely read the chat, so hang on, let me do that. Better. So you do see charts now, right? Yeah, cool. Good. All right, so anyways, pretty good analysis, I guess. I mean, that's all it means. It sure looks like it still wants to fall. You know, if you observe the 21.55 EMAs, they're really holding gold prices down. So, you know, it's quite a coincidence that we've stopped at 12.17. If it breaches 21 today, you know, we're going to go back to 12.30, and then maybe even eventually 12.42. And that would make me look really good. So that would be nice. Okay. Let's take a look. Let's go over to Kiwi. So the Reserve Bank of New Zealand's not feeling good about things. I think it was non-farm payrolls where I begged people to go to the RBA website, the Bank of New Zealand website, the Bank of Canada website. And I think specifically it was RBNZ because of the, the decision. Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get to the pig dog. Hang on, man. Okay? But nonetheless, there's an opportunity to have done some research. But take a look at this, how the technicals and fundamentals lined up brilliantly. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but like on Tuesday and on Wednesday, we talked about this pair and other pairs being at the potential top, ripe for a retracement. Is that factual or non-factual? It's up to you. Yeah. I mean, that's hardcore, right? Didn't I talk about the psychology of that, where it's your job to be ahead of the curve, thinking about the next hour, the next day, the next week, and less about what has recently happened, but setting up the next trade, right? Thinking in advance, right? And knowing things that are overbought. You say, well, I'm a bull, but I just simply can't buy here. It's too expensive. Under these conditions, I just can't do it. In fact, I should probably take my profit. Now, imagine you told a professional investor yesterday, you said, yeah, I'm going to take profit on my Kiwi yen long at $79.24 because I believe it's going to fall. And then they saw this. How do you think that client would feel? Yeah. Well, isn't that what you're supposed to do? Well, yeah, very confident in your ability, but like what I tell you guys, like with the gold thing, we were having a debate with somebody in the chat, which was great. I really enjoyed that day, about gold not falling any further. Like, I didn't say it'd go up, I just said it would not fall further. But my response to that was, it's not my opinion. Right? It's not my opinion. I don't have an opinion. In fact, for gold, my opinion is down, but when I do my analysis, it's not opinionated. It's factual. If you use these tools, they either tell you one thing or they don't, right? Now, why would you use a tool that doesn't consistently tell you information, right? So when I look at a market and I use these tools, I look at it and I say, Kiwi yen, you have to get out here. That's it, right? I mean, that is a factual statement. You have to. Based on this, let me zoom back in, right? But I know we talked about it 2 days in advance. Based on this, you have to get up. It's not an opinion. You just have to. It's a law of nature. And I said, look, if it does go up, that's extremely unusual. It's probably not going to happen. Now, let's say the Reserve Bank of New Zealand gave a more positive outlook for the future. It would have spiked straight up. See, but to me, I wouldn't care. Right? Because that's high risk. How would you know that they were going to come out with an unusually positive statement? And even so, are you going to buy it at the monthly R2? I mean, for crying out loud, right? I mean, really? Why don't you do like the obvious stuff, right? And a lot of amateur traders get so focused on the quick buck, the big spike and all that kind of stuff. Well, isn't the obvious trade for the month of May drive it up to $79.24 and take profit? You see what I mean? Like, isn't that the factory worker of Forex? Isn't that like the sausage factory of Forex? It's just, it's not exciting. It's like putting labels on cans of peaches, right? It's not exciting, but isn't that what we're supposed to do? Just punch in? Right? It's like the coyote and the sheepdog. It's nothing personal. It's just work. It's just the job, right? You punch in. Good morning, Ralph. Hey, Freddie. And what are you going to do today? Well, I'm still driving that Kiwi up to the monthly R2. It's just, right? And then one day you're like, oh, look at that. We're going to hit the monthly R2. I guess I'm supposed to get out. It's just making sausage. It's not pretty. It's not exciting. It's not sexy. It's not sexy at all. It's just money, man. It's only money. Oh, Brendan. I just saw Brendan's question about the EMAs. Okay. So Brendan's newbie. Okay. 5, 8, 21, 55, 200. All EMAs except the black line. Oops, the black line is an 8 SMA. Okay, euro dollar. Once again, on Monday, short opportunity based on swing trading strategy. By Tuesday, we hit the target. Is kaputt, ja? Done. So what did we do on Wednesday? Nothing. Tuesday stopped, Wednesday nothing. Now it's Thursday, still haven't done anything. Okay, now if you didn't use pivot points, you'd probably find an opportunity to reshort this. Oops. But to me, they're just not good pips. Based on weeklies anyways, right? I mean, really, you know, how many pips are left? And are they things that you want to take on risk for? So, oh, look at that. This is an old target. How interesting. Looks like it was pretty good target. Look at that. That's actually pretty dang good, boy. Look at that. What were we doing here? Looks like it might be an inverse head and shoulders or something. I don't know what the heck I was doing. Looks good though, huh? Dang! It's funny because it's where we are now. I don't know how many weeks ago we did that. So anyways, do you want to take on additional risk so you can pick up these pips? What did I say on Tuesday? Was this the one that I said on Tuesday, like you just might be done for the week? So you go to a museum or something, you're like, you're done. Yeah, I think I did that for all these pairs, didn't I? Didn't I say that? Like pound yen. We hit our target, I believe, right? I don't see it here. I'll have to change the template. But didn't we hit like the target on the on multiple versions of these? Let's say you could just quit, go to the museum, the M&M museum. That's right. So it says, well, what do you do for a living? Oh, well, on Sunday night, I get new pivots. I set a swing trade, and I made all my profit by Tuesday. So I'm done for the week. I have nothing else to do. Oh, and they're monthly pivots too. So it's like the 10th of the month. I have nothing more to do. I'm bored. I'm rich and I'm bored. That's dangerous, huh? Rich and bored? That's very dangerous. Okay. So, Carney, what? Talking down the pound? That's not remarkable, huh? So, this area here is the predicted top for the month of May. And here, and here, and here, and here, I told you that probably need to take profit and walk away. Go see a museum. I mean, put it in the context, guys. Look at what's happened. And your coach, your mentor, your confidant says, yeah, it's been up. It's been a nice ride, man. Good ride. Big bucks. Lots of pips. Time to walk away. Right? What, a 2-day advance notice? 3-day advance notice? Time to walk away. Time to take the chips off the table. Cash in. Time to go home. Walk away while you got it. Don't be greedy. Got to be disciplined. Now, how would you say, because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get you to remember. Okay? This is all I'm trying to do. This is a lesson here. Because we talked about it for days, about being in control, thinking ahead, analyzing the probabilities, greed, fear, discipline, all this stuff, right? That's been our conversation for the last 3 days, let's say. Great. So in an attempt to rewire your brain and program you, how would you describe the results of our conversation over the last 3 days of taking a market that's going straight up like a rocket ship, just fast and furious, straight up, to suddenly say, oh, this is where you get out. This is where you get out. If you're disciplined, you take your money and run. So how would you describe this learning experience to yourself? And I'm trying to get you to type, because now you're going to use multiple parts of your brain and your psyche, and you're actually typing it to yourself. You got to use motor skills, you got to use emotional parts of your brain, you got to use lots, right? So we're talking about neuro-linguistic programming, actually changing the wiring inside the gray matter of your brain. So describe it, guys. Describe what your takeaway is. And I will wait. Because if you're going to remember this 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, you have to anchor it, guys. You have to anchor it. This is kind of like signing a contract with yourself. Okay, here's another example. We have USD CAD heading straight up like a rocket ship. 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. This is week 5. We're looking for a double top and a drop. Yeah, Peter says that doesn't remember talking about that one specifically. Well, the way I remember it is we went through all these pairs and it was the same message. A lot of these are at key support levels, a lot of these were at key resistance levels, but there were clusters of weekly and monthly targets and everything. So I'm certain of it. Or at least that's how I remember. I'm certain that's how I remember it. Okay. Now here's the interesting thing. This was a bearish sell zone, but I also remember talking about the 44 back to the 55. That I don't think there's a massive reason for it to continue to fall, but technically that was still possible if you were a bear off the 21, off the central, which is a sell zone and all that kind of stuff. But I believe it was last week we were talking about OPEC coming on board, Russians announcing something, somebody doing something, but the bottom line is, you know, oil is closer to the bottom. Yeah, right on, Tucker. So, you know, it's going back up, and but we needed that for the CAD trade. And the CAD trade set up beautifully off the 55. The 55 predicts the double top. So remember, it's not my opinion. Right? It's not my opinion. The 55 is telling me prepare for a double top and drop. Right? So, cool. Could happen, right? Yeah, we don't need to cover peso. Oh, you know. Yeah, so this is not pound Kiwi 4 hour. Okay, this is another example. This is USD yen 1 hour, or now 30 minute. USD yen daily. Let's do that. Okay. And this area here, and we did talk about it yesterday, the day before, and the day before that, is a cluster of the weekly extreme target, monthly extreme target. This is where, if you were patient and disciplined, let's say more disciplined than patient, that's where you should consider taking profits. Okay? And we knew that wave down here. We didn't know the weekly cluster, but we knew the monthly target. So we started on May 1st. Our target for the USD yen was 114.09. You say, well, Wayne, it went to 114.25. Well, I know. Right, we're arguing over pennies, but I only have $100 bills, right? I'm like, I can't. That's you're talking 25, I'm talking 09. I'm like, whatever, same thing to me. Oh, I have a fundamental question. When a central bank announces a change in interest rate, when does it take effect? When does it actually take effect? Instantly. But a central bank doesn't pass a law, even though they're a government entity. They don't pass a law. They use open market operations, OMOs. And an OMO is simply the central bank entering the market, in this case the bond market, and buying and selling so that they manipulate the interest rate. So it's not like a law is passed and interest rates are that way. So what happens is, you know, I don't want to prove it today. It's, you know, I've done it before. You can also take the fundamentals course. I go through it. We chart and graph the whole thing multiple ways. But what happens is when interest rates rise, right? Somebody's selling bonds, and if the interest rates rise too high, so let's say let's say a central bank says interest rates are 1% in our country. Okay. Well, if investors sell bonds, prices fall and interest rates rise. Okay? Well, what if they rise above 1%? What do you do? They're like, oh my God, we told everybody interest rates would be 1%. So the central bank enters the same market as everybody else, and buys bonds, driving prices back up, driving interest rates back down. But they only do it enough to get 1%. And then people see the market rising, right? They're like, look at the prices rise, look at the interest rates fall. So let's say other people jump in and start buying bonds, pushing prices up further, pushing interest rates lower than 1%. Then the central bank goes, oh my God, it's too low. They jump back in, sell, 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 sell. Prices depress, interest rates go back up, and they only do it until it hits 1%. And they do this all day, every day, keeping interest rates at or extremely close to 1%. So it takes effect like that because there's literally a trading desk at the central bank buying and selling instruments to manipulate the money supply, which also manipulates interest rates through the bond market. Isn't that awesome? So if you like that stuff, take the fundamentals course. It's $1,000, but if you put $500 into a TradersWay account, the support staff will give you a coupon code to knock off $500 on the training course. Right? You see what I mean? So you can pay me $1,000, or you pay me $500 and put $500 at TradersWay and trade it. Either way, man. But it was funny, my wife and I were talking about gold yesterday. And she's like, I don't even know why, gold is that big of a deal. And I'm like, I get it. And then she's like, yeah, paper money, it's all full faith. I'm like, yeah, fiat currencies are nothing but a promise. And she's like, so what's the big deal with gold? And I'm like, well, it's got special properties. She's like, I get it, but why money? I'm like, well, this is what the world needs. A unit of exchange, right? A medium of exchange, a unit of account, and what else? Does anyone remember the third one? The supply of value, right? The store of value, medium of exchange, unit of accounting. They're like, that's straight out of lesson 1. Then we dive into how gold created banks, and then we talk about how banks work as an intermediary in the market, and then we start talking about this, actually doing balance sheets from banks, and I don't know, it's fun stuff. Yeah, Rob, that'll work for the swing trading course too. All right. Yeah, AB. Victor. Yeah. Yeah, chip in for my Harvard degree, right? Chip into the McDonell College Fund. All right. What time is it? What time is it? Wow. 8:06. All right. Give me one or two more, and then I got to roll, man. I got to get my, wow, look how gray I'm turning, huh? Wow, look at that. Woo-wee. Got like two-toned gray on the side, dark on the top. Wow. Look at that. Yeah, so I got to go and take this exam. I also have to get my immunization records back so I can move into the dorms. But yeah, so anyways, I got a tight schedule today. So give me a couple other things to cover, and I'll do that for you. Yeah, Mickey, I thought about getting like a brown velvet jacket with leather patches on the elbows, maybe some sort of scarf or ascot or something. Oh, Professor McDonald, you're the most amazing man. Baby, jump in the Bentley GT convertible. Yeah, my wife would kill me. All right, beast and pound dollar. All right, look at pound dollar, obviously. Now, we kind of, TL, we kind of did beast, I thought. Just the fact that we hit the targets and it's done. Now, you can scalp it back down if you want. But that, you know, I'm going to leave that up to you if you're going to scalp it back down. So when we hit weekly, monthly targets, I'm kind of like done for a little bit. You know, I don't want to necessarily get involved with fighting over the scraps of what's left. You know, like we hit the weekly and the monthly targets. Why don't we just wait till next week? Now, you know, with that being said, you can look at this and then just jump into the 1 minute and scalp your way around. But you know what? To me, that's different. There's no real fundamental bias in doing that because we've already hit the fundamental, or not fundamental, but fundamentally driven technicals. The market's already done what it's supposed to do, right? So now what is it supposed to do? Well, I don't know. It's already done what it's supposed to do. So how are people going to behave once the market's done what it's supposed to do? Well, I don't know. Less reliable, right? So I'm like, now, can you scalp your way? Yeah, sure. You know, but that's going to be less driven by the fundamentals, you know, so you get a big move like this. Okay? And you can follow on any way you want. But it'd be shorter term analysis. You're just trading you're trading the volatility, right? That's all it is. Trade the vol, man. It's a high vol trade. Okay? But like pound dollar, for example, what is that? What's this area here? For anyone that took the swing trading course, they know that that's a sell. Okay? I mean, look at it. It's 129.60. I mean, once again, factual. This is the target. That's them facts. So this is supposed to fall, and again, Sunday night, it's, what is it today, Thursday? Sunday night, the bearish target for this pair is 128.30. It's an amazing coincidence. Now, on the flip side, because you could say, well, Wayne, you know, how are you such a genius? I'm not a genius. If you're a bull, you were supposed to buy it here at 129.05. Once again, that's a fact. If you're a bull, you're required by bullish law, under threat of banishment from the land of bulls, you are required to buy that. If you don't, you just don't know how to swing trade. That's it. Sorry, bro. Take the class. Where were you, bro? Right? And if you're a bear, you're required by bearish law to sell that. If you didn't sell that, you're not a bear. It's not, what? Nothing wrong with that, as long as you admit you're not a bear. Right? If you don't know how to do that, take the swing trading course. But it's just, once again, not my opinion. And one of the messages that we have in that class is that the charts will not tell you what to do. If you're looking for answers on your chart, you're not going to make it. So where do you get the answers from? You're supposed to have the answers. You're the expert. You want to be an expert in the foreign exchange market. I want to be a fund manager one day. Good. What's your opinion? I don't have an opinion. How can an expert not have an opinion? I don't know what's going on. I'm just a consultant. Dude, so you get paid when the market agrees with your opinion. If you don't have an opinion, you don't get paid. You understand that? You get paid if the market agrees with your bias. You don't get paid if you don't have an opinion. At best, you'll win some and lose some. But it'll be amazing. You'll always win when the market agrees with you. Because the market giveth, the market taketh away. Okay? So anyway, going back to this, if you're a bear and you sold here, you're loving it. If you're a bull and bought there, well, you broke even or better, right? So can you see here, this is an example again, pound dollar. If you did what you were supposed to do, I don't care whether you're a bull or a bear. If you did what you're supposed to do, you didn't lose any money. Can you see that? Look at the week before. You would have sold here or bought it here. So a bear at least didn't lose money, but maybe made money. A bull at least didn't lose money, but maybe made money. So if you were a bull or a bear with control and a strategy and a plan and discipline to wait for the setup, you either didn't lose money or you made money. But what happens to everybody else? With no plan, no clue, no bias, what happened to them? They're chasing it, right? They're selling here, they're buying here, they're selling here, they're buying here, and it's just a total disaster, just a mess. Right? So there's your beast. And it's a mess, guys, because they're not in control. They're at the whim of the market, not the other way around. Some people want to be the cork, some people want to be the river. I, however, am the shark. Freshwater shark, baby. All right, I got one more. You got to be a killer. That means you got to be in control. Yeah, a mental game. Well, it's not. The mental part of the game, guys, and you know this is true. It's taking the advice, right? I know you listen to me every day, and you only take every day the smallest little chunk, right? The smallest little chunk of advice every day. So I'll talk for an hour, and you'll walk away with 2 seconds of additional knowledge. And then tomorrow I'll do another event. I'll speak for, well, it's an hour and 45 minutes or whatever, an hour and a half, whatever it is, right? Hour and 15 minutes. I'll speak for an hour and 15 minutes. You'll walk away with 2 more seconds. 2 seconds a day you're taking. And even with that, you're probably fighting me on that a little bit. But one day you're like, maybe I'll go to the Bank of Canada, to their website, and read their meeting minutes. And it's like, hallelujah, right? You're like, oh my God, what a breakthrough. But it took so much effort to get you there. Just go, do the analysis, do it. No, I don't want to do the work, right? So it takes so much effort, but that's the mental side. So what have I told you in the past? If you don't know how to make a fundamental bias, you just don't understand the fundamentals. You tried going to the websites, you read it, but it's all mumble jumble. Yeah, flip a coin. Because what's important is that it's not that you're right or wrong, because you don't know if you're right or wrong. How could you possibly know? But it's you've made a decision, and now you can carry out the appropriate actions to live up to that decision. And if you're wrong, the market just won't agree, and you just won't get many opportunities to trade, which means you won't have too many opportunities to lose money. So having made a decision, even though it's the wrong decision, saves you from losing money. And you know it's true because when you don't make a decision, you simply lose money. So when are you going to stop losing money, right? You stop losing money when you start making decisions. Because if you're a bull and you're at resistance, you cannot possibly buy it. But I'm a bull. Well, so what? It's overpriced. Don't do anything. Right? Oh, this is somebody. Yeah. So the world is on fire, guys. So anyways, just make a decision, man. If you're a bull, you buy at support. That's it. Just identify 2 levels of support. Give me a factual. If I said, so what's your bias on this pair? And you'll say, let's say you're a bull. Right? You say, oh, I'm bullish on pound dollar. Were we at support earlier today? Were we at support yesterday? No. So are you bullish now? Or let's say over the last hour and a half with the news and stuff? No. So how many trades did you get in? None. How much money did you lose? None. What are you going to do now? Well, I've identified a couple of levels of support, right? So let's do it on this one. So where are the levels of support which you'll consider buying? Well, I'm thinking 128.30, and then maybe one down here at 127.90, or whatever that is, 127.50. So 127.50 or 128.50-ish, somewhere around there, I might consider tiptoeing back in. Wow, that kind of sounds like you're opinionated, and it sounds like you've made some decisions, and you know exactly the price you would consider buying. You just don't know if we'll get there, or if you'll get the price action that you're looking for to confirm the respect of those areas. But how much money are you going to lose now while it falls? None. Right? So Peter says people often forget, yeah, what they do is they open their charts and trade like it's a video game. And I'll end with one other thing. Back when I was a venture capitalist, we looked at a lot of golfing tools and aids and stuff because it's a big industry. Americans spend a lot of money on trying to learn how to be a better golfer. It just turns out that they suck at learning, right? So one of the tools we looked at is, it was a tee, in fact, a special tee, and it had a pivot. I think it was called Pivot Tool or Pivot Tee or something. But anyways, research had shown that people will focus on everything, right? They'll focus on buying a very expensive club that is made out of magical material. They'll focus on keeping the left arm straight and following through and doing this and doing that. And then they hit the ball and go boom, and they hit it straight up into the woods. They forgot to aim. Aiming. Amateur golfers don't aim. In fact, when they do aim, they're usually aiming wrong anyways. You're like, dude, your feet are pointing way out to the left. And what does the guy say? Yeah, well, I always hit it to the right, so I'm going to aim farther left, which doesn't work. It's really strange. Like, well, why don't you just practice hitting it straight? But anyways, amateur golfers don't aim. They hit a good shot straight into the woods, and they hit a bad shot straight into the woods, through the woods, and into the other fairway. So I'm suggesting we start with aiming and hitting the ball straight. Maybe you don't have to hit the farthest drive or hit or shot, but let's just hit the ball square on the face, aim, and swing. Let physics do the work. Focus on making it easier, guys. The way you make trading easier is you make decisions, and then you wait. If you chase price, if you go, oh, look at that, and you're about to trade, you just lost money. Either now, later today, tomorrow, the next week, the next month, the next quarter, the next year, whatever. As soon as you're right, you're either disciplined or you're not. You're either pregnant or you're not. You're either profitable or you're not. You're either in control or you're not. So make the change. Right? Look in the webcam, make a change. So, peace on earth, may the pips be with you, may your profits be above average. Guess what? I'll be here tomorrow. I hope to see you there too. Thanks for being a client to TradersWay. If you're not, please visit TradersWay.com and open up a demo account. Give us a chance to earn your loyalty and respect, huh? Thanks, guys. Love you. You know what I mean?